I am not going to jump into a situation where I don't believe we can win. I won't do that.
Not even a year ago, Urban Meyer came to Jacksonville. The city wanted him to be a savior. 11 months later, he's gone.
What has he done over and over again in this short order? Embarrass the organization.
You're going to find out real quick. There's a huge difference.
It may work short term because he has Trevor Lawrence and you can build a team. But ultimately, Urban Meyer is going to flame out.
And despite getting a once-in-a-generation quarterback, the mistakes kept piling up. An assistant hired and fired in 24 hours, caught on camera partying with a co-ed while the team flew back after a loss in Cincinnati. After a 2-11 record, the end came last night, after midnight, with an allegation of workplace violence.
And I looked at him, I said, "Don't you ever kick me again." So I'm the head ball coach, I'll kick you whenever I want.
So now what? We look ahead to who could be the new potential head coach of the Jaguars. Can owner Shad Khan get it right this time?
This is First Coast News on your side.
I mean, the odds have to be in his favor. If
Finally,
you're a betting
eventually?
person. Maybe. All right, we are so glad you're with us here. First Coast News at noon. I'm Lou Turner alongside Katie Jeffrey. So you probably saw the alert on your phone when you woke up early this morning. Urban Meyer fired.
So it is the end of an era, a very short era and a painful one. One fans probably would like to forget. Now, kicker Josh Lambo was a fan favorite for years, but in the NFL, that can change in a hurry when you're not making the points.
Right. You miss a couple of extra points, you miss a few field goals, and it can turn on you. Nonetheless, he had been a hero for a long time. In an exclusive TV interview, in fact, Lambo told On Your Side's Heather Crawford that during his slump earlier this year, Meyer had kicked him at a practice in August.
And literally kicks me in the hamstring. Hey bud, make your kicks. Wasn't one of those. It just wasn't.
So Urban Meyer said in a statement, quote, "Josh's characterization of me and this incident is completely inaccurate, and there are eyewitnesses to refute his account."
As for the Jaguars, they confirmed that they were at least aware of this report, saying, quote, "Jaguars legal counsel indeed acknowledged and responded immediately to the query made by Josh Lambo's agent Friday, August 27, 2021. That statement was provided to the Tampa Bay Times newspaper, which originally broke this story. Shad Khan's statement overnight said, quote, "After deliberation over many weeks and a thorough analysis of the entirety of Urban's tenure with the team," Shad said he's bitterly disappointed to arrive at the conclusion that immediate change is going to be imperative for everyone. The statement goes on to say, as stated in October, regaining trust and respect was essential. Regrettably, that did not happen.
The Jags still have several games remaining in the 2021 season, and for those games, Darrell Bevell will be the head man there on the sidelines. He served as the offensive coordinator for the Jags this season. He has previously been a coordinator for the Seahawks, Vikings, and Lions.
Live team coverage for you this afternoon. Rodana DiGregorio and McKenna Rodriguez both standing by to see how the Duval faithful are responding. But let us begin with Mia O'Brien live on your side at TIAA Bank Field. Mia?
Good afternoon there, Lou and Katie. Katie, as you alluded to, Darrell Bevell has served as the offensive coordinator for the Jaguars this season. He actually had a regularly scheduled press conference this morning at 11:20. That has since been moved now to 3:30 p.m. Select players will be available to meet the media at 4 p.m. On Wednesday, select players included captain and wide receiver Marvin Jones. This was the first time we had heard from Jones since the NFL Network report that was released this past Saturday, detailing a confrontation, a heated confrontation between Meyer and Jones that took place about 2.5 weeks ago. Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network then went on to report that Marvin, the oldest player and one of the most mild-mannered on the team, stormed out of the facility. Here is Marvin's perspective on what happened.
I'll just say this. There was something that was brought to my attention that I didn't like too well. I approached him about it, and we talked, and we handled it like grown men. And that's all I have to say about that. So that was 2.5 weeks ago. So yeah.
I'll let you body language experts do all the reading you want to there. Remember when Marvin thought he was coming to Jax to ball out with Trevor Lawrence and friends? Instead, the Jaguars are dead or near dead last in almost every statistical category on offense. They've won just 2 games. Oh, and Meyer cost them a nice chunk of change over the summer for OTA violations. The exact contract number that Meyer signed in January is still unknown. It's also unknown if Shad Khan and the Jaguars will be on the hook for a possible buyout. Again, live here at TIAA Bank Field, where the Jaguars are about to take the field for the first practice since Urban Meyer was fired as head coach. Again, interim head coach Darrell Bevell is expected to meet the media at 3:30 p.m. We will carry that press conference live right here on First Coast News. But for now, from TIAA Bank Field, Mia O'Brien, First Coast Sports.
It is no exaggeration to say that the Meyer era in Jacksonville was really just one problem after another. Let's take a look back. It was Thursday, January 14th. This grainy picture emerged of Urban Meyer getting off of a plane in Jacksonville. The team confirming the famed college coach would be taking the head coaching job at the struggling NFL team.
City of Jacksonville. When they see that Jaguar emblem, there's a sense of pride and let's go, man.
But one of his first hires immediately drew criticism. Chris Doyle was hired as a strength and conditioning coach and then resigned after 1 day. With diversity groups blasting the team, calling Doyle's hiring simply unacceptable after allegations of racism and bullying from his previous team, the Iowa Hawkeyes. Then Tebow time. Meyer gave his former college star a chance at the roster as a tight end. While some were excited at the idea of Tebow on the team, others said it was unfair that Tebow was taking up a spot another more qualified player should have. In the end, Tebow didn't make the final cut. Then in July, Meyer and the team were fined for OTA violations for having contact drills during summer workouts. Then the season officially began, and there was loss after loss. And in October, the now infamous bar video emerged. The embarrassing video shows a woman who is not Urban Meyer's wife dancing closely on him and was taken after the Jags lost to the Bengals. Urban Meyer admitting in a press conference he did not fly home with the team after the Bengals loss and stayed in the Buckeye State to visit family and friends.
Just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction. It was stupid.
But things really started to hit a boiling point in December with the questionable benching of James Robinson and a report that Meyer called his assistant coaches losers, bullied them, and had a confrontation with team captain Marvin Jones Jr. On the heels of that report came what seems to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Former Jaguar Josh Lambo went public with accusations that Meyer kicked him while he was stretching while the Jags were in Dallas during a preseason game.
He comes up to me and he says, "Hey, Dip," another word, "make your effing kicks," and then proceeds to kick me right in the leg, right in the hamstring.
That seemed to be the kick Khan needed to end Meyer's time in Jacksonville. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.
That's one heck of a timeline, Katie, I tell you. All right, now let's now consider who may wind up as the long-term solution when the Jaguars do find their head coach of the future. There are potential candidates all around the league to choose from.
So Eric Bieniemy, he is the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator, and that could be a good choice. The Jags have had a hard time getting the offense going. Now, he has been working well with Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and just this past Sunday, his team hung 48 points on the Las Vegas Raiders.
How about Buffalo Bills OC Brian DeBole might also be on the team's list, but he's the offensive coordinator that also let the Jags beat him. So the Bills have been a little shaky this season, of course, considering they did just get beat by the Jags not that long ago. But perhaps Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Like Bieniemy, he has had an exciting young quarterback succeed in his game plans, and it's paid off to the tune of a 9-4 record and first place in their division. Still. But Byron Leftwich, now that is an interesting option. Holding it down in Tampa Bay. Sure, he's got the greatest of all time playing quarterback for him, but he's the one who's calling the plays. He's the offensive coordinator there. History here in Duval, you bet there is. He was the team's first-round draft pick in 2003, and he's been persistently rumored as a guy with head coach potential all over the NFL. So this isn't just a Jags thing. The Chicago Bears rumored to be a possible landing spot for him as well. Maybe the Jags can swoop in and bring him back to Duval. How about New England's offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels? He's coming back in. He's been on the list before for the Jags. An impressive resume, sure, earning 6 Super Bowl rings in his 17 total years with the New England Patriots. He also has head coaching experience, a 2-year stint with the Denver Broncos. That was a controversial time, also a losing record as a head coach with the Broncos. Still lots of experience there.
So our team coverage here continues, and our Renata DiGregorio, she has been running around all day talking with dozens of people. She joins us live here. So Renata, what do you think fans are feeling at this point? Relief or, I don't know, maybe happiness that it's time to turn the page?
Yeah, Katie, we talked to a lot of fans, so a lot of different reactions. But I tell you, so many people say that they had really high hopes for Urban Meyer and for their whole team. But we talked to really more than 30 people today, and we didn't come by many fans at all who thought that firing Meyer was a bad move. You might see some people with their Jags gear on today, and there might be a meaning behind it. One woman, for instance, told me it's the first time she's worn her Jaguars shirt all season. That tells you enough right there. But then right after that, we did speak with a man who's more skeptical. He thinks there should be some kind of proof that Meyer kicked Lambeau like Lambeau claims he did, in case that is what got him fired. I got a really sad response from one man who says he stopped watching the Jags because, and I quote, "they broke my heart a long time ago." He believes there needs to be more changes than Urban Meyer being fired in order for him to ramp up his fan energy. And another fan says he'd be more inclined to come out for the games if winning was just more of a possibility.
On to the next one. That's basically what it is.
Look at the record. Need to get somebody who knows what they're doing.
At the end of the day, we just got to start winning and start backing the football team. I think that's what it is. It's a culture of winning. We need to have a culture of winning.
Anything would be better than this 2 year in a row of 2 wins.
So you can really see the pattern here. Fans want that team spirit, and in order to get that, they want wins. Now the question is if getting rid of Meyer will give them that. In Jacksonville, Renata DiGregorio, First Coast News, on your side.
Renata, thank you. Stay with us. We've got continuing coverage all day long this hour, but and beyond.
Much more will be coming up tonight on First Coast News starting at 5, and the news is always on firstcoastnews.com. Coming up, looking ahead beyond the big cats, what we heard from Governor Ron DeSantis in his trip to Nassau County this morning.
And first, an overnight crash sending a deputy to the hospital while we're hearing about the overnight rescue.
And the sun is coming out and those temperatures are heating up. We'll talk all about how warm we'll get today coming up.